wanting to support your egg health and wondering if there's some things that you should avoid to prevent harming any of your eggs. Well, in today's video, I'm going to go over 8 things that you should be avoiding when you are wanting to help support egg health. If you like these videos where I share fertility tips and educational topics, make sure to subscribe below and hit the notification bell so that every time we upload a video, you get notified. If you're someone who's actively working towards helping to support your egg health, you will want to watch this entire video. Why take all these steps to help support your egg health if there's things that you could be doing that might actually be harming your eggs as well? So we're going to cover the 8 main things that can negatively affect egg health. My team and I have been helping couples for over 12 years, and one of the main things that we work with when we're working with these couples who are trying to conceive is improving and supporting egg health. So we're going to go over whether you can actually support egg health and make a difference, and what are the things to do to avoid any type of negative effects towards your eggs. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start with the first understanding of how we can actually impact the health of our eggs. The eggs go through a 90-day cycle. So the egg that is preparing right now over the next 90 days, and the things you're doing right now, either doing to improve or avoiding right now, or negatively doing, will be ovulated 90 days from now. This also pertains to sperm health, so a lot of these things you can just switch over to sperm health and it will have the same effect. So everything that we're doing right now is we are exposing our eggs to that are preparing for ovulation, that are becoming more mature, turning into follicles, and will be ovulated. So that's the basis of all of this. So whatever is in our body, our lifestyle choices can negatively or positively affect your eggs. Now that being said, before I go into these things, one, I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to freak out and become a stress case and become scared of everything in the environment. There are many solutions to the topics that I'm going to be talking about. The second thing is this is also going to be, I'm going to be talking about a lot of studies in this video. So stick with me and listen to what these studies are saying about these compounds and these different things. They can make a big difference in your fertility. And also know that that is what is giving you power. You have something in your control that you can work on, that you can do in preparation for conception, medical fertility treatments, if you're going all natural, whatever it is, if you're 40 and plus and you're trying to conceive, these are all things you should know about. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing to avoid for healthier eggs is going to be GMOs and non-organic foods. So I know a lot of you, some people, write into us and they say organic foods are expensive. What can I do? This actually should be a priority, and here's why. There's a couple of studies and things I'm going to go into right now. There was a study published in 2018 that directly linked glyphosate, which is a pesticide in Roundup that is sprayed on food, sprayed on lawns. It's very, very prevalent. That it actually caused a decrease in sperm motility and cell function. There was another study that showed that that glyphosate increased free radical activity and damaged the testes and sperm cells in the lab animals of where they were tested. Another study showed that lab animals given glyphosate experienced fertility problems along with growth issues and malformations in the babies. It also has been found that glyphosate interacts with receptor sites. This is a xenohormone. We talk about this so much. When a outside substance or chemical goes in and can trigger the receptor site for estrogen in our body, that trigger is so much stronger than the ones in our body, than the hormones in our body when those go into the receptor sites. These chemical compounds have a much stronger stimulating effect of estrogenic outcome. It was found, and that's with glyphosate. GMO foods, there's also a correlation where they were found that the animals that were fed genetically modified corn and Roundup had double the amount of estrogen in the animals that did not. A couple more. The diet high in pesticides was linked to lower sperm count. There was any exposure to pesticides had a 30 to 70% increase in endometriosis in these animals. And there was also another study was showing that GMO led to lower fertility rates and increased inflammation within the body. All right, a lot of studies there, but they're all saying a lot about GMO and Roundup and these compounds that are used. So that is why I tout organic so much. When you buy organic foods, they cannot be genetically modified. They cannot have glyphosate, Roundup sprayed on them. So that's an easy way to figure that out. Some of the things that are most important to eat organic, the Dirty Dozen, meats and dairy. The reason I always say meats and dairy need to be organic or non-hormone, antibiotic, all that stuff, is because they're eating this corn that is GMO and that has glyphosate and these different compounds sprayed on them while they're growing, and these animals are eating them. Well, this stuff stores in the fat of the body. So when you're eating the dairy, very high in fat. When you're eating the meat, you're gonna be eating the fat. So you're getting concentrated amounts of these. So that is why I go on and on about that in most videos, because it's so important. So going organic. The other thing you can do is cleansing twice a year, helping the body in its natural ability to cleanse. Your body does this on a daily basis, but when you do a cleanse, such as a fertility cleanse, you're gonna help to give it some extra push and some extra support. Also doing something daily on a daily basis to help cleanse the body. Juicing can do this. Anytime you're eating fiber, whole foods, fresh foods, that's gonna be something you can do daily to help support your liver and detoxification. Protecting the body with antioxidants. That's gonna be another factor that is really helpful. I have a whole video on the 5 steps to take for egg health. I go into great detail in all of these steps. So I'm not gonna go into detail here, but you can find the link for that here and below. So protect the body with antioxidants, exercise and support detoxification through sweating. So hot Bikram yoga, saunas, hot tubs, hot baths, sweating through exercise. And then the last is to replace tampons with an alternative. 85% of tampon brands have been found to have glyphosate, measurable amounts of glyphosate in the cotton that is used in the tampons. We have a whole article on that as well. Use something else. Use organic tampons if you really like tampons. There's just a lot of different options out there, but this is serious and this is real, especially when you're putting it directly into the vagina, into the tissues that are very, that absorb a lot. Okay, so the second thing to avoid is inflammation and free radicals. So this can be done through diet and lifestyle choices. Inflammation in the body can affect hormonal balance. It can affect the the ability for the follicle to mature and the egg to ovulate. This is something that's a big deal in PCOS. One of the reasons that polycystic ovary syndrome, one of the reasons that they do not ovulate, women experiencing that do not ovulate, is because of this very factor, which is caused from inflammation, which is caused from too much insulin in the blood. But there's a lot of things that can cause inflammation in the body, not just that. And all of these things that I'm covering today do that within the body. There's inflammation and free radicals being increased. And so the free radicals can actually affect the sperm and the egg health and can fragment the DNA. Well, we do not want that. That increases the rate of miscarriage. Okay, so the third thing to avoid is excess sugars. So excess sugars, this is anything with added sugar. This is gonna be white sugar, brown sugar, sodas, candies, ice creams, anything that has added sugar. What I'm not talking about is fruit. And we have found honey, maple syrup, monk fruit, stevia, those to all be fine, but I'm talking about processed sugars that are added to foods. These increase inflammation and may impact egg maturation and ovulation. So let's go back to some studies. Both animal and human studies show a diet high in sugar is linked to increased inflammation, which can affect fertility and increase infection, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, weight gain, and all of those things impact fertility health, especially PCOS. PCOS, about 50% of the people we work with are experiencing PCOS. It is at an unprecedented rate. And the cause is manageable through diet, through reducing sugar, through increasing all these different things. I have a whole video on that if you wanna watch that. But there's things we can do, so don't freak out. Know that there's things that you can do, but they are lifestyle changes, they're choices to be made. There's also research that showed that a diet higher in sugar reduced IVF success rates. So avoiding added sugars, period. The next thing is nutritional deficiencies. Nutritional deficiencies can negatively impact egg health for a couple different reasons. Not eating foods that are healthy, that are providing protection for your cell health and reducing inflammation like we talked. And then also, if you have nutritional deficiencies, you're not eating the foods that we need and that have the compounds that help to improve egg health. So most convenient foods, anything that's packaged, processed, chips, snack foods, breakfast cereals, snack bars, microwave meals, all those things, these are all gonna have excess salt, sugar, fat, all these things that are not going to be healthy for us, and they're going to be void of nutrition. They're gonna make you feel full, but you're not getting these nutrients that you wanna flood your body with. There was a study about fast food. Fast food, they found that, this is in Australia in 2018, they found an 18 to 16% increase in the risk of infertility in women who ate fast food 4 or more times a week. Not surprising to me at all. Natural solution is to eat a natural fertility diet. I will put the link below, link right here. I'm not sure what side. And that'll go into detail what a natural fertility diet is. But we have seen amazing things through these lifestyle changes of making healthier choices. And you can do it. It's so exciting how much power you have and how many choices you have. Whether you're going all natural or you're preparing for medical fertility treatments, it's all your choice. There's things that you can do. There's things you don't have control over. And there's nothing we can do about those things. But these things you can. And I just feel like when you have stuff that you can do, it just makes you feel better. And it's going to help you on this journey. Okay. Next one to avoid, trans fats. So the interesting thing about trans fats is there's actually whole states that are starting to ban trans fats. So this one's going to end up being easier. But there's fast food restaurants is where you're going to find a lot of these things. Research from Harvard School of Public Health showed that the more trans fats a woman eat, the higher her risk for fertility problems. It also worsens insulin sensitivity. This is that whole cycle of PCOS, causing hormonal issues, not ovulating, and so on. For fertility health, enjoy healthy fats, eating healthy fish, eating avocados, nuts, and seeds. They're going to have healthy ingredients in them to make hormones, as well as anti-inflammatory compounds, as well as fiber, as well as vitamin E, as well as all kinds of minerals and vitamins. A 2012 study from Harvard School of Public Health showed that the more monosaturated fats that someone eats increases the rate of IVF success. So there you go. All right, number 6, alcohol. I know. This one's like, okay, trying to get pregnant is really stressful. I like my occasional drink. We're going to go over some studies here. And I would have to say with this, I think regular drinking is what this is talking about. A drink here or there, depending on what your fertility issues, may not be a problem. But if you're experiencing insulin resistance, alcohol turns into sugar in the blood directly. I think that's one of the ways it's having negative effects, is because of how it does turn into sugar so quickly. So this was a study done on monkeys and rats. They were getting these guys drunk. What they found was multiple fertility issues, including delayed absent menstrual cycle, reduced ovarian weight, so their ovaries were not as heavy, lowered hormonal concentrations, so their hormones were low, inhibited ovulation, interference with sperm cell transportation through the fallopian tube. Super important for fertilization. Human trials have shown frequent alcohol consumption by women to increase incidence of menstrual disorders and irregular menstrual cycles. So that is interesting. So that is affecting ovulation. That can affect the length of your cycle, your luteal phase, all these different things that have to be on track to work. Okay, let's jump to number 7. I know I'm super heated about this, but when I was pulling together my bullet points for this talk, I was just blown away. I'm like, there's so many studies, there's so many things that we can do. Don't let it be overwhelming, let it be empowering, okay? So cigarette smoke. This one can't surprise you. Cigarettes create a huge amount of free radicals. Studies have found delayed conception. Those who were smoking versus those who were not, who were trying to conceive, it took much longer for the smokers to get pregnant. There's also a 5 times higher rate of ectopic pregnancies in those who smoke cigarettes because nicotine stimulates the fallopian tubes to contract. There's also a lower success rate for IVF. It increased the difficulty for embryo to implant and an impaired hormonal release. So studies performed on humans and animals exposed to cigarette smoke showed that being exposed to the nicotine altered the hypothalamic pituitary interrelationship. So this is the communication loop that's happening that is telling hormones to slow down, hormones to increase. The orchestra that is happening can become impaired because of being exposed to nicotine. So smoking has a huge effect on fertility very directly. It also damaged the sperm and egg DNA. So this has been shown through studies that can increase the chance of miscarriage, having impaired DNA. So smoking, big deal. Okay, so now onto the last one, stress, right? After all of these things you have to avoid, stress. Well, you can't avoid stress, right? But we can definitely have an impact over how we're responding to stress. And this happens through practice and through preparation. Making sure you're doing things on a daily basis to help to reduce your stress, things you enjoy like taking baths and taking walks and listening to beautiful music, as well as tools to use in the moment when that person at work has pissed you off one last time and you're super stressed out because they're breathing down your neck about something. Try some EFT, try some essential oils. Have some of the things in your tool bag to use in the moment when things get really stressful. You know what happens is with practice, these are tools that will help you to not react with such intensity to these stressful things when they happen. Stress isn't going away, but you can definitely see an improvement in how it actually affects your body when it does happen. All right, so now what do? Right? So we've learned about the main things to avoid while you're trying to support egg health. Now, there are things you can do to help support your egg health, and it's going to help counteract and protect you from a lot of these things we talked about. So I have an egg health guide that's got everything in detail that you want to do to help support your egg health. Go to egghealthtips.com or go to the link below and click on that, and you can download that complete guide. You can also watch a video that I made that is the 5 things to do to support egg health, and I go into great detail in each one of those topics and their solutions to these issues. So if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions about anything you heard in this video, put them in the comments. We're here to help. We'll respond to all of our comments because we're really passionate about helping you and helping those on their fertility journey to feel empowered, to get some answers, education, and feel supported. So there you go. I hope that you found this helpful. Don't freak out. Use it as empowerment, and you can take action and make an impact on your fertility today. Talk to you soon. Bye.